Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be doing some Warrior Two kind of series in this yoga practice. So you're gonna need a block for this one. So go ahead, grab your block and come on, meet me down in Sukhasana. We're gonna jump right into it. And we're gonna start with what I call stir the pot. So you're gonna take your hands, put them on the fronts of your knees, and you're gonna bring your chest back, well, up, to the side, back, side, front, back, side, like this. Okay, and from here, you're gonna check in with your breath. You're gonna observe it, let your breath be your guide. If you're feeling kind of shallow, your movement might be very small, very slow, or it could be big and slow, or it could be fast. Maybe you're just feeling like your energy is just like, woo, let's go. So wherever you're at, go ahead and stir the pot. And make sure you stop midway and go in the other direction. This should be a nice spinal warm-up. You could get a little funky with it. Do something a little more with your shoulders. Articulate through your shoulders and your neck. If you get that involved somehow, you could let your neck go on for the ride as well. Find your own movement in this practice and make it your own. So when you had enough of that, you could settle your energy and meet me back in Sukhasana. Okay, so let's go ahead and from Sukhasana, we're gonna go into downward facing dog. So, toes, tuck your toes, and lift up off the mat. Find length in your spine. Push away from the mat. Make sure you have your fingers nice and spread out. You can walk your legs a little bit here, a little bit there. Okay, and from here, we're gonna come into a three-legged dog. And for me today, I am pointing my toes, and now I'm going to bring my, what is it called? My toes, my whole leg. I'm gonna bring it from behind me to the camera. So I'm gonna kind of like a hinge. I'm gonna hinge it like this. Okay. My toes are facing forward and now they're facing there. Actually, I'll go ahead and externally rotate. So your toes are facing the wall and you're gonna kind of kick out. 1, 2, we'll just do 3 of those. Okay, and now go ahead and bring your foot up between your hands and flip on the back side into a Warrior Two. We're gonna go, it's a quick practice today. We got things to do in life. Okay. So try to make sure your pinkies are kind of reaching back behind you in your back body. Make sure you're trying to tuck your tailbone. Make sure you're using your breath. I should really do the other side first. I'm gonna flip around. You don't have to do that. This is just so you can see what I'm doing. Not part of the movement. Let your breath settle. And from here, we're gonna come into side angle pose. I'm going to, for one thing, I'm making sure I'm pressing my hips kind of down and forward. And I'm going to take my right elbow. I'm going to put it on my right thigh, but I'm not going to use it to kind of hang out. I'm going to use it to press away from you. You want to make sure you have space. Okay, and from here, I'm going to, maybe I might put my left hand kind of on my side, just so I could feel what that straight line looks like, and then I'll sweep my arm in that same line to make a nice straight line from my hand all the way down to my ankle. It's a nice straight line. Okay, and I'm also going to try to rotate my chest so that my chest is looking this direction. I'm gonna think energetically that direction instead of towards the ground. I don't want my chest kind of this way at all. Okay, so I could also use the energy of my arm pressing away from my thigh to help spin my body. Okay, so you're here for a couple breaths. You could do variations of this. You try to take your hand down. You could do a bind, a half bind, whatever feels right for you. For me today, I'm just gonna do this. Keep it simple because there's still a ton of things you can work on all the time. Okay, and when I'm ready, when you're ready, you could come back into a warrior two, but don't worry, we're gonna come into a triangle. So from warrior two, boop, 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 you're gonna straighten your front leg. And you're going to just tip on to the side like so. I like to do it so that all I have to do is this. I'm not trying to hang out, I'm not trying to dump. I'm pressing my hips out to this side, and I'm trying to keep my body facing this way, even though my leg is going this way. And I'm trying to extend on both sides. I'm not just trying to extend on this side and crunch this side. I want both sides to be nice and open. And I'm also not resting this hand. This hand is basically barely touching, you know. If you need a block is a good idea to create space for your both sides. That way you get the stretch on both sides. If you don't have it, that's fine. But when you're done, come on out back into warrior two, back into your side angle. I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to bind. Maybe it's too early. So when you're bound, you could go ahead, walk your foot up. I'm gonna do it from this angle. And you're gonna slowly bring your other foot into this, in towards your other foot. Bring your feet together slowly, basically. Let your breath be your guide. If you feel out of breath, that means slow down. Okay, and then when you're ready, kind of get your tailbone to go towards the floor. Put a nice squishy bend in your standing leg and slowly grow your pose up into a bird of paradise if that's what you're doing. For today, I'm not going to do that. I'm just showing you what's possible. Okay, come back into bound side angle, release your bind, and come up into a warrior two. Slow your breath, windmill your arms down. Oh no, don't do that yet. Reverse your warrior, and this is where you're gonna want your block. I don't have a block, but I do have this shoebox. Okay. Reverse your warrior. And when you come out, you can come into, grab your block, give you a nice height. You can adjust this height settings how you need. But to come into that, you're going to use a block if you need it. It just brings the ground closer to you. And you're going to shift your weight to the side. Shift your weight to the side so much that you're pressing into your block and you have the space to lift up, okay? And from there, you want to try to get your leg parallel to the ground. And you're just finding a balance. You could lower the block if you're able to. Whoa, that didn't move the way I wanted it to. Kind of start to open, so no worries. I'm gonna move it this way. If you're able to do that, you could do that. Or if you're able to do no block, you could do no block. If you're able to hover, and that's even harder, go ahead and hover. Now, wherever you're at, you might want to give yourself just that extra support and swing your leg forward. Ooh, that's the opposite leg. That's okay. Okay. Yeah. Swing. Maybe don't do that. Okay. So wherever you're at, come back down. We'll have to cut that. Come back down. Flip. Flip on to Dancer Warrior. And cartwheel your arms down into a lunge. Okay. And meet me back into a downward dog. Go ahead and take a vinyasa if that's what you do here. Find your breath wherever you're at. Okay, when you're ready, sweep up your left leg, open your hip, and kick out to the side in 1, in 2, in 3. Okay, and now take your foot between your hands and come on up right into a warrior 2. So I'm gonna windmill my arms up like so. Okay, I am keeping my arms energetically pulling away, right? Just like we've talked in the past, if you've watched my other videos, about your head being pulled towards the sky, your tailbone towards the earth, that tug of war, you have the same line of energy through your arms, so they are trying to reach opposite walls, okay? So that's what I'm focusing on. Trying to also make sure my shoulders are not up here, they're down here. If that's hard for you, you could put your palms up. That'll just encourage your shoulders to go down. On the exhales, I try to melt down, and as I melt down, I put more bend in my knee. I also try to melt this hip towards like forward and down. And I want my tailbone to be tucked under, and I want to be facing this angle, even though my legs are facing different angles. Okay, from here, let's do a side angle. So again, I could start here. This is a nice place to start. And sweep it into a nice line. Find your nice line. Look up. Unless you need balance. You do like a half bind. Get ready for a full bind maybe in a second. Before we do our full bind though, you're going to go into a triangle. So straighten your foot, maybe walk your feet together a little bit like I just did. And let's get your hip to go out towards the right. And start to move your body in one tipping motion so that you have your torso kind of rotated upwards. You're not putting a lot of weight into your leg. And you're keeping your things back. You know, your things. Okay. Okay, and when you're ready, come back into a warrior two. You could reverse your warrior. That's always just a nice option. Sometimes it's nice to go back and forth, you know. For today, we are going to we're going back into the bird of paradise. So if you can, bind your side angle pose and walk your right foot to underneath you. Start to shift your weight, bend your knee. You might find one side is easier than the other. So if you tried it on the last side, try it on this side. Slow your breath. Okay, walk your left foot in and start to press through your right foot as you anchor your tailbone down. So maybe you'll only get a little while, you might need to pause. Until you get up all the way. Okay, and when you're ready, okay, had a little glitch there. Let's just film the ending here. So come back into bird of paradise. Warrior two. Come back into warrior two. Take your block or your fake block, and from warrior two, you could do a reverse warrior and then shift your weight. You can see as I do that, I start to pull in my foot and then lift off. Ooh-wee. So your toes should be facing, like the front towards me if you're in the same orientation. Ooh. Your other foot should be facing the wall. Send your hand up. When you're ready, drop back into a warrior two. Reverse your warrior and cartwheel your arms down into a downward facing dog. From here, drop your knees, flip them to the side, and we'll come into fire log pose. Okay, or double pigeon. So I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to make it parallel with my mat. And then I'm going to stack my left ankle on my right knee and my left knee on my right ankle. So it's just like a nice little box. Okay. And for some people this is enough. For some of you it might be very difficult. Your knee might want to be very popped up like this. It's okay, just maybe even give yourself a little hip massage. Breathe. Encourage your hips to relax. Okay, if you're able to, you could lean forward. You could start to walk your hands forward. Really walk your hands forward to whatever degree you need. So let's take about 5 breaths. On the exhales, make sure you melt into your hips. Okay. When you're ready, go ahead and switch your legs and do the same on the other side. And you might need to start here. It might be different on different sides. Just find your own edge. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Or if you're practicing with someone, don't worry about what they're doing. Just find what is going to serve you. If you go too far, you risk injury. If you don't go far enough, then why are you here? no offense. But just be honest about what you're getting out of it and what you need out of it. And you don't always have to be pressing into your hardest all the time. So find what feels good. Find your edge. So find your edge. And you could slowly creep past what you think your edge is. Or you need to walk it back. Just find out what's going to work for you. This is what the practice is for. So, with that, I am going to leave you here. Please take some time in Shavasana, because this is the ultimate point of yoga. Find your way to your back. And settle in. Until next time, I'll see you in my next video. Namaste.